Okay, we're back. Part 2, lesson 15. So, where are we in time? We're on the newest, this is the newest chart I made this morning. And we're talking about moving this say 7, this 7 string we'll call it, but it's this whole string, moving that up. Okay, and the 5 becomes the top one. But guess what? It doesn't warp. But yesterday when we did that, okay, we have the 6 strings here. I'm showing the string 6. I wasn't showing string 6 here because string 6 is just a repeat of string 1. So there would be a 3-4 on top of this one. Okay, the 5 would be on top of the 2 because 2 goes to 5 in perfect tuning. This is a perfect tuning situation here. Anytime you see the 7L dominating the chart, it's perfect tuning. Okay, the 7L is just a combination of this guy and this guy here. Alright, so you got the S2L here, you got the S3S here, and then the S2L is part of an S3S over here, and then you got the 7, 5, and the 2 down here to the 4th, the funny shape one, and then on the bottom you got another 6 root 3, 5, whatever, an S2L, and then they join together for an L7, which is just like a map coordinate, right? And I put another 7L there, starting with the 6, 3, 7, and it fits in, it just repeats. And when you do that twice, okay, it's a 5-string pattern. When you do that twice, it dips down 1, and you have your 6 strings there. And the interesting thing about it is, if you look at this G, you say to yourself over here, this is unwarped, but still you can tell from the bottom, the first 4 strings of the unwarped is the same as the warped. It's like a bass guitar, right? Because it would be the bottom 4 strings. The G shape is going to start on the 6th. So if I'm in the key of C, I start the G shape on the A. Now for you, if you play at home, the A is going to come out an F, because this is a B. This is an A flat instrument. It's down C tuned. Okay, so the G shape would start on the 6th and go. Okay, and it starts on the 6th note, but there's no 6th note in this. There's no 6th note here. Okay, right? We don't want to zoom in because we want to zoom out again, It's all on the chart. If we have to zoom in, we will zoom in. If I think it's going to be too small. That says Unwarped DC Fretboard. There's no G there. What's going on? Because if you start a D from the 2nd string, D starts on the 2 note. Okay, remember D starts on the 2 note. So in the key of C, the 2 note is the D here. And when you go up the pattern from there, you got your S3S right there, and then you've got an S2L right there, just sitting right there. Okay, but you got to warp it. In this diagram, only the top string gets warped. Let's go back in time to the D here. So you got your S3S right here, stack of 3 short right here, and the stack of 2 long has a warped 5th string. Okay, so that is your D. That is your D shape, because guess what? There's your 5 root and 3 there. So the bottom part is kind of in the mud. It's mostly it's kind of a Dorian scale. Okay, then you go into an S2L. which is 3, 4, 5, and then it warps to 6, 7R. Sounds like better be good, better watch out. Santa Claus coming to town, right? All right, I hate this, but they do say, you know, when you're covering the basics, you do get these old songs that shine through, you know, and that bothered me for for a while, doing things like that. Like when I wanted to play the C, you know, the C chord. Oh, let me just play this. Because it reminded me of Lurch coming into the room on the Monsters. It just sounded like, you know, I was some kind of a blockhead. But anyway, where were we? So we were talking about, I like to play a little bit just to let people know, you know, it's for real. It's not just all on a chart. So let's go forward in time here. We were talking about this particular, I'll zoom in on it. All right. We can drag it somewhere. All right. This is the double 7L pattern. Okay? It's unwarped, which means it's all P4 tuning, right? So all the tuning strings are equal. Okay? It's not, doesn't have like a little anomaly like the first 4 strings and then the last 2 strings are going to be warped over. All right? So what it is how are we going to get a G shape when we need a G shape to start on the 6? Because that's what the G shape is. It's the big chord that, remember, this is only 5 strings here. The top string is a repeat of this string. Okay? So how are we going to get the G shape if we don't have the 6 there? Because a G shape is also a D shape starting on the 2nd string. Here's the bottom string of this diagram. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So the 2nd string, I consider the 2nd string from the bottom. That's my sign convention. Okay. We start a D from there. We get our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R2. We come up here to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R. Well, guess what? Guess who's got that? Guess who's got that same pattern? That same pattern. Mr. G. Mr. G has the same pattern. Okay. So here's the G pattern. Here's the D pattern. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R2, and then on top of it, because all of the major scales are simply in these 2 patterns. They're simply in these 2 patterns up here. Okay? The S3S and the S2L. So before you warp anything, where, you know, you have guitar tuning that's you know, that sounds like the beginning of one of those monkey songs or something. Like, wow, I thought that was supposed to be something else, and it really, you know, it really became the song. And that was the beginning of the cartoon thing when they were going to go to a commercial, you know. I don't want to try and play that right now. So, where were we? So we've got everything, we've got the E and the D in the 7L double, even though we don't have the bottom string. And we don't really need it, because once you embed this into the fretboard, it'd be like 637. Where's that? 637 there. So pretty much I could take this thing, cut and paste it, and put it on this 637 right there. It would have to extend out